What's going on, party people? Welcome. Welcome. Just waiting for this draft to start. A little Ishtal. No, not Ishtal. The other one that starts with I. Icathia. There we go. Icathia versus Demacia. Rematch of the century. I believe they played in week 1. Demacia took that series. There was a sub. Toledo was subbed out for Icathia, but this time I believe Icathia has Grey Goose Gabe subbed out. So another sub, but Icathia has not lost a series since then. Neither has Demacia. So that should come to an end today. Well, it will. One of them's going to win. One's going to lose. Demacia undefeated so far. Last week of the round robin for someone to take a game off of them. Icathia 4-1. I believe the winner of this series takes first place in the round robin, if I'm not mistaken. 11-4, 11-5. Yeah, so whichever team wins this series, regardless if it's 3 or 2 games, then will be first seed in the round robin. Bilgewater clears both of these teams in playoffs. Maybe. I will admit that I have not watched a game of Bilgewaters in quite some time. Waiting for them to get in a draft here. I don't know if the audio is alright, if you can hear me well enough. Some low energy, cloudy, overcast weekend vibes casting today from me. Leaning back in the chair and everything. How's everybody's Saturday going? Having a good day? You're watching from a bowling alley? Classic. Classic Katie move. My co-caster is my cat standing on my couch behind me, screaming at me. Just moving into a new lobby because their previous one was bugged. Kathy has chosen blue side for game 1. Blue side, I feel like in general, seems to be the more popular pick, at least in my experience. I don't know how it is in the other brackets, but my team pretty much always takes blue side when we can. Not too concerned about counter picks. Also putting higher value in takeaways, so you don't have to ban things. You can steal something from the other team without having to ban it. There's a lot of value in that. You get some music going or something. Let's play that like creator safe Spotify playlist. Let me know if the music is too loud or whatever. I just want something in the background. Just waiting for them to start this fucking draft. Taking their sweet ass time. There we go. Somebody's readied up. Demacia is readied up. Grant's being a freak in the lobby chat. They're making a third lobby. I don't know why we can't just draft and make the lobbies at the same time. Not really a high fucking... Doesn't require a lot of focus to create a lobby in the League client. You just press a fucking button. Everybody filtering into the new lobby now for the third time. What do you guys think about this match? Who do you think wins? Icathia versus Demacia. Prediction going for fourth lobby? Yeah, should. Best I can bowl is a 102. I think the best I've ever bowled is like 170. I'm not very good at bowling. I'm really good at throwing the first ball, hitting the pins in what looks like a nice spot, and then one pin is left up pretty much every time. So I'm almost there. 170 isn't that bad, but it's like my peak. Like if I like all the time I've bowled like 100 times, the best I've ever rolled is a 170. But I guess for someone who doesn't really like practice bowling much, I suppose. I had a period of time like after high school before I started college where I would go bowling like twice a week because there's an alley that did like dollar games past 9 on Tuesdays and Thursdays or whatever. So I would go with my friends all the time and bowl because it was cheap and fun. I really like bowling. I would like to put more time into it, but anyways, we're in bands now. Velkaz and Ari gone. I think a problem I have with bowling is like footing when I'm approaching. Like I don't know how to step my intervals and my steps properly so that I'm like my feet are in the right spot to throw the ball when I get up to it. I don't know. I have also not put any energy or effort into trying to learn how to do it, so that probably would help. Skarner, Ari, Camille gone. Ezreal, Lilia, Velkaz zipping through these bans. A couple of targeted bans at Steve makes sense from Icathia. Several bans towards Toledo and one for Journal. First pick Hui going over. Pretty big mistake on the behalf of Demacia, in my opinion, to leave that up. Every time Icathia picks it, no matter who plays it, they literally shit on everyone. Corky going over to Demacia. Corky's a little weaker on this patch, I think. I don't know if he's bad. I haven't really been paying too much attention to Corky. My priority on him dipped a bit, but I played him like once in BoozeBash. I was like 9-0 and we lost. Not sure where the Corky's going yet. Corky Leona, that's a pretty good lane. Is it Steve and Snowy Beardy or their bot lane, I think, usually? You probably suck. Yeah, that's probably true. I probably do suck at bowling too. Leona could be Hockey Boys. Could be. I know they have some role flexibility between Hockey and Snowy Birdie and Colonel Combo, so. Nocturne for Grant. So I guess Demacia's draft strategy is let's let Icathia have like almost all of their favorite champions. Pretty good strat if you ask me. Rel. I believe Icathia has Buffalo Barrage subbing in for Grey Goose Gabe. I don't know Buffalo Barrage's pool or what he like roles he plays, so guess he's playing Rel because he's locked the support. See what Demacia rounds out the first stage here with. I imagine jungle pick, save their solo lanes. Technically, Corky could be a flex, so can Echo. LeBlanc, Talia, where LeBlanc? I guess Journal's been playing LeBlanc. Talia. So they're targeting Journal a bit, but they already have Hui, which Journal can just take, and then Sammy can just pick an 80 carry, so. Echo for Demacia, probably jungle. I don't think Echo really gets played in lanes very much these days. Tom Kench, Poppy. I don't even remember who Demacia's top laner is. Well, it's Molten. Demacia's a vibes-based team, yeah. And Tom Kenchban's pretty good. I think Molten's pretty effective on that over several tournaments now. Zach, yep. Pretty broken champion right now. Hard to deal with in general. Ton of damage to the sustain. CC engage. Probably Zach top. I think Zach's mostly played top these days. He can still jungle, but I feel like I see him in top more often than not. Mordekaiser for Toledo. I think he's just been playing that past couple series. At least once or twice per series. I imagine here the Hui is going to go mid and Sammy locks in an AD carry. I don't think they want to put Hui bot unless they put Journal on like Trist mid or something, which I think he played last week. So they could just pick Trist, and I don't know if Sammy would play it, but they could flex the Hui and the Trist based off of anything. Twisted Fate? I don't like it unless it's an AD TF, but TF Nocturne is pretty great, so. Alright. I don't know. A little low damage from Icathia, except for Hui. I mean, Nocturne Hui. Nocturne TF will do damage too, but there's a Kale, so. The Kale mid? Or is it a Zac jungle Echo mid Kale top? I don't know if Molten would play Kale. Kind of screams Kale mid to me. Combo, Crow combo playing Kale mid, Molten playing Zac top. What are your thoughts? I'll put up a prediction. Snowy Birdie Kill, could be. Not too familiar with his spool. Or Moltens, or Buffalo Barrage, or like a good chunk of the people in this game, so. Somebody dumped some points. Typhoon, feeling good about Icathia. I have some opportunist bets put in here. Anybody want to get in on those channel points? I'll say I think Demacia scales better, but Icathia's comp has the tools required to get early leads and snowball. Games tend to go pretty long in BoozeBash these days, it feels like, so all days. So I think you get past 30 minutes, you probably favor Demacia here. Unless Icathia can deal like lethal damage before it gets to that point.
Seems you left your brave pants at home. Want me to wait while you go get them?
Well, Demacia does have some pretty decent CC between Leona, Zac, and Echo. Pretty good frontline as well. A little short ranged. Hui is the fucking Swiss Army champion. Just damage, DPS, burst, utility, CC, range, wave clear. Pretty much does fucking everything. Then they have Nocturne TF to try and snowball the mid game with like really powerful engage with Rel. Mordekaiser, I don't really think fits into the comp too well, but maybe it's just an answer to Zac trying to get some side lane presence. Nocturne TF can ult in on side lanes. I don't think Kathy is looking to 5v5. I would imagine Journal is playing the TF and he's going to go AD. So they can have some physical damage, because between Hui and Mordekaiser, they're a little lacking in physical damage. Nocturne does some, but not a ton. I really feel like it's just a mistake to give Grant Nocturne. Like, everybody thinks that they're hot shit and they can play around Nocturne all until those fucking lights turn off. Once those lights turn off and things go haywire. Getting into the spectate delay now, so we are 3 minutes away from the action. 1 minute left in the spectator delay. Waiting to get in the game here on this lovely overcast Saturday afternoon here in Milwaukee. That's where I live. I believe in combo colon. I think in general that Icathia, I favor Icathia in the series. Sammy is playing the Hui, by the way. Journal's playing Decisive Fate, as I thought. Switching on over to the Observer here. Steve playing the Corky, switched off the Hail Blades over to Fleet Footwork. I'm not sure if that's what people are doing in general. Buffalo Barrage is subbing in for Grey Goose Gabe. Combo's playing Echo mids, I imagine. You have a sub LMAO. Hockey Boy's playing the Zac, so it's Molten on Kale, which to me makes me favor Demacia's comp a little less, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. I don't know Molten very well, but I know he was in the Chemtech bracket last tournament, so you would imagine he would be a little bit lower on the middle bracket list. Molten walking into Toledo here, level 1. Journal's here with a gold card as well. I don't think Kale gets out of this. Flash from Kale, but Toledo answers, and first blood over to Toledo on Mordekaiser. That is not a good sign for Demacia. Kale flashed, used both potions, and died in a pretty bad lane matchup. Steve doesn't have items. So we're really off to a strong start here for Demacia. Molten's dead and Steve is going to be late to the wave because he doesn't have items. Zoom in a little bit, looks a little too far out. Colonel Combo and Grey Goose Gabe trading a bit. Journal does have Fleet Footwork on TF, which makes me believe that he's going to be doing the AD build. Still does a fair bit of magic damage with that build, but Steve is inting my fantasy points. What the fuck? I think you're inting your fantasy points. Toledo gets the pull in onto Molten. I mean, he's probably happy taking these trades because the potion difference. Snowy Birdie sending up Sammy there. This trade doesn't go too well for Icathia. Journal's doing alright. Last time these two teams matched up, Colonel Combo kind of beat the shit out of Journal, which was like a big surprise because I had Journal. I believe Journal's the best player in this bracket by far. So let's see if he can redeem himself this time. Snowy Birdie going in onto the bot lane for Icathia. Buffalo Barrage gets ignited and locked up, but isn't too worried about it. So Leona may have overcommitted a bit. But all in all, just a trade of ignites and like 90% of the HP bars on both supports. Toledo. So I feel like this happens all the time with Kale. Like, this Kale is so fucked. Like, he died level 1, he used his flash, he used both his potions, but like, look at the CS. He's like not really having any trouble farming. I feel like Steve, or not Steve, so Kale just like always gets to free lane, it feels like. I don't know. See if Icathia can like stop it. If you just like shove into her tower over and over again like this and she just picks up the farm, like who gives a shit, right? Even if she doesn't get the farm, she gets the XP, she's winning. Hockey Boy's looking for a gank here. Flash onto Sammy, but that fear was so good from the Hui. Buffalo Barrage gets the kill, it's just unfortunate, but getting a kill at all in the 1v3. Journal does get a solo kill onto Colonel Combo in the mid lane. A little sloppy, but gets the job done. Redemption for week 1. Kale getting beat up in this very bad matchup. TF counter Echo pre-6, I don't know. Probably not counter, but I mean, once the gold card is on cooldown, you can't really interact. Toledo, yeah, I don't know what you're doing there as Kale. Why are you walking up to that? Icathia taking a pretty strong early game lead, which is what they need to overcome the outscale that Demacia drafted, in my opinion. Combo going in on Journal. Snowy Birdie also going in onto Sammy. The fear into the root. Steve's gonna flash though and get the kill. Doesn't cleanse. Probably could have just cleansed the fear, but kill over to Steve onto Sammy. Grant is here for the. Oh, Journal doesn't have flash. Hockey missed the Q. Stun goes wide. They're just gonna walk out. But. Demacia striking back. Steve 2-0. He's probably feeling alright. Maybe Hockey looking for a repeat gank here onto Journal. Or the Wolves. He's looking for the Wolves. Toledo's there though. I don't know if he saw him. If Toledo saw Hockey there, he would be in big trouble, but he manages to escape detection. Combo just hit 6. Grant is here. Combo's really low. You gotta imagine he's about to ult. There it is. There's a gold card. Woo! Combo almost got a return kill there. That was really close. He's gonna go down. Journal 2-0 in this lane so far. Does have the little feather thing as a component for Kraken Slayer. Sammy sidesteps that engage from Snowy Birdie, which probably would have chunked her a fair bit. How strong Steve is on the Corki. Toledo, Mordekaiser ults onto Kale, but she's able to get to her turret pretty safely. Uses her ult. Toledo flashes the Zac engage, sidesteps the Q, so it's ult for ult trade, but the flash off of the Mordekaiser does make the side lane a little bit more dangerous for him moving forward, especially now that Kale is ranged. Grant's taking the grubs in the meanwhile. Does feel like Demacia's bot lane has control here. They're looking to engage onto Sammy. Good E from Snowy Birdie goes through Buffalo Barrage. Ignite is ticking onto him. Steve's Gatling gun is burning them, and nobody dies there, but pretty tense bot lane right now. Combo's here for the gank. The roam. This is looking pretty good for Demacia. Snowy Birdie locking up Buffalo Barrage. They kind of just let Sammy walk away. So, not as bad as it could have been for Icathia, but great proactive roam down from Colonel Combo. Recognizing that the mid lane is not going too hot and trying to help out where he can. Journal gets a turret plate and crashes a cannon wave for it, so it's not all bad for Icathia, but definitely some early game action in this game thus far. Fleet footwork completely negates the damage from the Echo E there. Toledo's trying his best to beat up on Molten, but despite the fact that Molten's 0-2, he's still even. He's ahead in CS, even in XP. Like, Kale is not too unhappy about this start. Grant is level 6, so looking to see where he uses that first Nocturne ultimate. Try to get the ball rolling for this. Journal getting 3-man tier, locks in a blue card, jumped on by Echo, and that's a shutdown over to Colonel Combo. I feel like the momentum of this game is kind of shifting off of that because Nocturne used the ult, didn't get anything off of it. Shutdown goes over to Echo. Dragon gets started by the team that has the worst early game. It looks like they might be still trying to fight this. Hockey Boys getting pulled in by the Hui. Snowy Birdie going in. Hockey following up with a pretty big E and Q. The Hui ult is ticking. TF ults. Down goes Sammy. The blobs are there. Grant's dead as well. Journal is still alive with Buffalo Barrage frontlining. Journal claims a kill there. Can Journal outplay this? Flash away from Hockey Boys. Journal probably still wins this. flash from Colonel Combo. Journal's gonna flash forward. That's a kill onto him. Oh man. Alright, they stopped the dragon. Pretty bloody fight there. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I don't think Combo lives even if he ults. It just puts him back in the river. But it gives him a chance, I suppose. Toledo, looking for Molten here. Uses the ultimate, this time far enough away from his own turret with Grant waiting as well. So if he doesn't finish him off inside of it, Grant will surely do the job. And that's a kill for Toledo onto Molten. Journal combo. Engaging onto Journal in the middle of his wave. Takes a big chunk of damage. Sammy walks into melee range of the Leona, gets locked up and killed immediately. That was not so good. You probably shouldn't walk into melee range of Leona. Thoughts? I don't know. Just my opinion. Anyways. Pretty even. Bit of a gold lead for Icathia. Steve's gonna get that solo plate. Dragon started up, I believe, by Hockey Boys. Or finished, actually. Buffalo Barrage might be looking to roam here. They're trying to protect from the dive, maybe. Hockey Boys, the counter jungle. Onto Grant's Raptors. Grant's going up top side looking for the grubs. That is his strong side right now. He's got a 3-0 Mordekaiser with Rylai's completed. And a Twisted Fate Kraken Slayer, so... Bot lane, not where Icathia wants to be. I suppose if you're going to shut down one side of the map as Icathia, it's better to try and shut down the Kale. But I don't really think he's getting shut down that hard. I mean, he's 0-3, but... He's level 9. He's even in farm. Yeah, I think what you need to do here is what they're doing now. It's like, yeah, strong side it, lock up this Kale like this, kill him, freeze the wave, deny XP. Like, they're pinging onto the turret, and it doesn't look like Toledo is actually freezing. Like, I feel like at this point, you probably would rather just have your minions die than kill the, like, you know what I mean, deny XP. It's really important for kill. Corki's strong and scales well, but like not as much as Kale. You're not that concerned. Like Hoi will outscale Corki, I think, if the Hoi's good. I don't really know though, like what Corki is capable of with this Triforce build. I haven't tried it. Anybody knows? Does he scale better or worse? Leona ult onto Sammy, and Steve's gonna claim another kill. This bot lane is just not going the way of Icathia. Demacia absolutely dominating them, tower diving them 2v2. Steve is 5-1, he's a monster. Toledo does also get a solo kill and a turret in top lane against Buffalo Barrage. He's gonna go down for it and gives over a big shutdown to the Zac, so Hockey Boys is rich now. TF ulting in 1v2. Gold card, Snowy Birdie going to fall, Steve likely to fall next, and that's the Nocturne Twisted Fate mid-game engage that we've been looking for from Icathia. Pretty hard to do anything about that, right? I mean, suddenly you're standing there and then there's just two people on top of you and you can't see anything. Especially when the Twisted Fate is as strong as he is. I mean, if Twisted Fate gets ahead and gets to his 5-6 items, he does shit out damage in the late game. Still only about a 2,000 gold lead though. At 13 minutes, it's a decent amount, but it's not by any means insurmountable. Back to a bit of a neutral state here. Killing that turret though in the top lane, the outer turret, does make life a lot scarier for Kale. It's a lot harder for her to push up and farm. You can see right now on the minimap she's kind of just creeping around in her own jungle, really afraid to step too far up at all because anybody could be there. You don't see them. especially with the Nocturne Twisted Fate. I mean, you know the cooldowns are down right now, but in general. Journal is just shitting on combo here. I think he kills him. I don't think he needed a flash there, but there's a kill. Solo kill onto Colonel Combo from Journal. This is like how I expected this matchup to go the first time they played. I think Journal is just the best player in this bracket. Was he out? I don't think he was out. I don't think Combo was ever getting out there. Zac is behind them. Leona ult misses this time. Does Sammy have flash? She doesn't see Hockey Boys. Doesn't get out of the engage. Flash is late. And both teams doing a pretty good job at playing to their strong side. Hockey Boys recognizing that the bot lane is the key to victory in this early mid-game. Buffalo Barrage getting tower dove. Steve claims another. TP coming in from the Twisted Fate. Nocturne ulting in as well. Can they do this 2v3? Steve flashes away. Another TP in for Toledo though, so it's a 3v3. Grant's going to claim the kill onto Steve. Snowy Birdie in the middle of 4 people now. And Sammy TP'd in as well. So that's 3 TPs and a Nocturne ult. That's crazy, dude. They're 3v0 right there. They just 2v2 tower dove, and all of a sudden they're 4v3. 3 TPs and a Nocturne ult. And Icathia is done having bot side be their weak side. They are in the driver's seat now. Rift Herald might even get a charge off onto the inner turret. And Journal just ults mid to try and stop Colonel Combo from taking the turret. Doesn't stop him, but likely gets the kill. I think Journal gold carded a minion there, but there's enough people. Oh! Okay, that was just sloppy. There's no way they should have let Combo get away there. Okay, he's gonna die, but... Alright, there's a dragon, several kills, a turret. Kale is farming in the side lane during all this. Side lane, but... mostly just trying to recover the deficit, and she's 0-5, so she's been getting slapped around a bit. Icathia devoting a little bit of resources to try and bail their bot lane out of a sticky situation as it was starting to get a little bit out of hand. Demacia was sort of rolling them over down there. I don't know why my FPS has dropped so much. Probably because I have like 2 streams open on my Chrome. Let me close these. Back to a bit of a neutral state here. Baron, the next major objective on the map. Hockey Boys spots Grant out from the Nocturne Q trail, so doesn't go too far in there. There's a pink ward. Gets Mordekaiser ulted though, so... is he like stuck? I think he's stuck. Or is he just standing there? Like that, I'm curious to see what happened there because he was like mid-E. The rel engage as well. Colonel Combo getting solo killed in the side lane at the same time by Journal, and Demacia crumbling on all sides of the map here as they lose both fights. Hockey Boys typed in the chat, I was stuck outside of a realm. That's what I thought it looked like. That's really funny. The gold card on the Steve, the instant cleanse. Hoi ult connects onto the Corki. Are they going to kill Snowy Birdie? Dominating. Journal 8-1-7, almost 3 items on this Twisted Fate. Really strong. Sammy is overstaying. Fortunately for her, she sidesteps the Zac engage and manages to get the little infernal Drake thing, speed her way out with her W whatever. Twisted Fate ulting onto this Corki in the mid lane. We know his cleanse is down. Journal claims that kill, flashes to safety. And Journal is godlike in this game. 9-1-7. Bloodthirster, third item completed. And this Twisted Fate is really powerful. And Kale is like still in the game, and hopefully for Demacia going to scale up and give them a chance in this late game, but it's starting to get out of control. And it's a 7,000, 6,500 gold lead at 20 minutes. Leona and Zac, though, are both jumping onto Journal. The Twisted Fate has a really big bounty. Colonel combo is there as well, and the shutdown goes over to him. Meanwhile, in the back line of the fight, Grant chasing down the Kale. Snowy Birdie claims the kill. And the Hoy is here, and it's just a big sloppy fight. Toledo's on the back line as well. Hockey Boy's going to jump over that wall. Sammy claims a double kill, though. Steve flashing away. Gets the kill onto Toledo. That's going to be an ace for Icathia right next to Baron. 3 for 5, it looks like, but I don't think they're confident in their ability to do it, as Grant's pretty low and Twisted Fate is dead. Pretty big shutdown over onto Echo from the Twisted Fate, though. I mean, that was a lot of gold. Snowy Birdie pinging Nocturne's shutdown, probably wishing that they were able to claim that one as well, but I mean, that's the common thing that you do when you're behind in a game like this, right? You just ping their bounties and be like, don't worry guys, just get these shutdowns, we're right back in the game. Grant pinging onto the Infernal Drake that's spawning in 5 seconds. Looks like we're just going to get right back into another fight, probably. Buffalo Barrage getting some deep wards into the bot side jungle, I like that. Slips in there, places a couple wards before everyone gets there to stop him. Kale isn't there. She does have TP. Twisted Fate ult is up. Nocturne ult as well. Who's their target? Looking like it's going to be Steve. Nocturne jumps onto the Corki, flashes out of the Zac engage, and that's going to be a kill on a Steve. Huge Rel ult pulls everybody in. Sammy's on a rampage. Colonel combo dies before his ult, and Demacia is running with their tails between their legs. Really clean engage there from Icathia. 3 kills over to Icathia and the Dragon as well. Meanwhile, Kale does get a turret in the side lane, but it looks like Toledo might run him down, and that's a kill there. So 4 kills and a dragon for 1 turret. The gold lead pretty close to 9,000, 8,000. Excuse me, I mean 8,000. They're on to the Baron as well, so a 22-minute Baron should push the gold lead even further. How's he worth 300? Probably like farm and objective bounties and stuff. I don't know. The Baron goes over to Icathia at 22 minutes. Now the gold lead is about 9,000, 9.5. Kind of getting into the point where it's not surmountable. Like Icathia would have to fuck up really bad and like chain int 1 by 1 or something to throw this lead. They can probably just start slapping them with their wallets. Sammy is back in the game. She was behind early, but is now, at this point, pretty much fully recovered. So, both the carries for Icathia are high priority targets that you have to kill to even stand a chance in team fights. And I don't think that Demacia is capable of it right now. They need to get the Kale online. But even then, it's like with TF and Nocturne, they have a lot of ability to single a target out. For now, it's Corki, but if they can just switch it to Kale, they need to. I'm not sure if Corki is capable of hyper-scaling into late game. Journal does walk into a bush, though, and, you know, the chain inting that I mentioned before might start happening. Molten gets that kill. And that takes a little bit of steam out of this Baron for Icathia, but they are looking for the 4v5 because Steve isn't there. Neither is Molten, so combo fucking Houdini gets out of that somehow. I mean, that was fucking crazy. And if Icathia doesn't get any kills here, this is actually really good for Demacia. Kale got a turret in the side lane. Really well played by Demacia. Avoiding that engage. Colonel combo. Echo is really slippery. Steve walks into melee range of Rel. Snowy Birdie does as well, flashes away. I don't know if you really wanted this fight. Oh, Grant, though, unable to kill Steve on the backline lane. Oh, God, backline. I don't know why I'm struggling with those words so much. Team fight breaking out in the middle of the river. Double kill over to the Corki. But he is going to fall as Journal has now arrived, teleporting back into the fight. Still has the Twisted Fate ultimate. Going to use that. Sammy is dominating, and TF is going to ult over to the other side of the fight. Double kill or even a triple kill for Journal. That's a clean 5 for 2 ace. And Icathia will be barreling down the mid lane, looking to claim at least one inhib, if not perhaps the Nexus turrets, or even the Nexus itself. They've still got 8 seconds until Steve respawns, so likely yeah, Sammy's TPing up to the top lane, so they're not looking to end here quite yet, but they've cracked an inhibitor. They're looking for the tier 2 in top lane. And the gold lead is now 10,000 for Icathia at 25 minutes. Any journalists in chat? Yeah, I love Journal. I still think to this... Journal should not be in this bracket. He should be in the top bracket. This guy's cracked. He was in the top bracket the last time we did 3 tournaments, or 3 brackets. And he won that bracket with me. I think he was one of our best performing teammates too. It's not like he was dragged along. He was really good, so... Combo got lucky for a series. Yeah, so from what I heard, Journal has like really busy work days during the week, so if he plays on a weekday, he's like really sleepy and not good. Grant looking for Molten in the side lane. Molten gonna flash out, doesn't get slowed by the Stride Breaker, but back in range of the Fear. Uses the Kale ultimate to try and prevent himself from taking too much damage, and he does escape. Everything else they do is perfect. Worst mistake mods I've ever made. Yeah, I agree. Getting close to level 16s for a lot of the characters in the game. Rank 3 ultimates. Journal's level 16. Grant's about to get there himself. Scuttle Crab clearing out the vision. They're walking into this bot side jungle as they should. Flexing their 11k gold lead. Demacia trying to gain some mid priority, clear out some super minions, buy themselves a little bit of space to try and approach this dragon. If you ask me, I don't think they should. I would probably try to push mid, but if you're Icathia, you're so strong, you don't really even need to allow them to do that. Like, they're pinging to stop this push, which I think is the right call, because they can 4v5 effectively while Journal's soloing the dragon. Toledo flashes in and ease the kill. They're looking for this engage with the Nocturne ult as well. Slapping them with their wallets. They get the dragon and they are killing Demacia at the same time. That's what you can do with a 10,000-11,000 gold lead. I really like that play there from Icathia. Demacia correctly identified that they couldn't take a 5v5 at the dragon and looked to try and get some sort of consolation, but Icathia goes one layer deeper and says, we are strong enough to do both at the same time. So they take the dragon, they take the kills. Likely going to take game 1 as well. Icathia ending the game before 30 minutes against a scaling comp. Exactly what you want to see out of the team looking to claim the championship. And game 1 goes over to Icathia. And it's back to the drawing board for Demacia, if you ask me, as far as draft is concerned. I don't think you can really draft that Kale at this point and expect to be able to stall through the early mid game. Granted, in Molten's defense, I don't think it was really his fault. He walked into the jungle level 1, maybe you can give him some flack for that. It was a bit ballsy. But once he did that, popped his potions, lost his flash, and still died, the game was almost impossible for him. Hats off to Icathia for taking that early mid-game lead and rolling it into a win. Fairly clean, not a ton of mistakes. Demacia had some good things going for them. I think they really took over in bottom lane. almost the whole game, they were really in the driver's seat. So I think they should try and find a way to replicate that lead, as Steve is probably the best bottom lane player in this bracket. Now, undoubtedly the best bottom laner in this bracket. So he gets the lead. They need to find a way to play through it, or put him on something that's gonna be able to like 1v5 team fights and have Molten frontline for him. That's what I'm thinking. Don't listen if you're on the teams, by the way. Arcane Havoc Doubter. No, I'm just a Steve simp. Can you blame me though? How could you not be a Steve simp? Just real recognize real, you know. I see it, my boy Steve, Ezreal player. Real recognize real. Into the lobby for game 2. I don't have the draft link. Yes. Looks like we are going to be keeping the sides the same, so I like that. I don't have to change anything. Call the prediction too. Draft has begun, and Icathia probably, I would imagine, doesn't have a big reason to change much. Demacia wisely going to change their bans. Getting rid of the Nocturne. Always has been Grant's most effective champion by far. Every time he gets it, he usually has a pretty big impact. I don't think he loses very often on it. Icathia running back their bans. Demacia taking out the TF and the Nocturne. What did they update? Oh, do you mean the arcade music that was playing? I love that song. And Hui. So three different bans here from Demacia. Skarner insta-locked for Icathia. First game they banned Ahri, Camille, Skarner. This time they banned Nocturne, Twisted Fate, and Hui. I really like that they banned Hui. I think Hui is the #1 pick for Icathia right now, as it's a flex, really powerful, and they have 2 players that can play it very well. Demacia's picked Kayn. Who on Demacia plays Kayn? Does anybody know? Interesting choice. Not sure I like it very much. If you ask me, I don't think anyone on Demacia that plays jungle is really their win con. Kayn is kind of a carry champ. Snowy Birdie and Hockey both. Okay. Jhin locked in for Steve, presumably. I'm already not liking the draft from Demacia. I don't like Steve being on Jhin and a carry jungler. I don't think it really fits their identity, or what their identity should be, which to me is playing through Steve. I think they should always be playing through Steve. Callista for Icathia. Sammy's ego is showing a little bit here. I love it. Let's see if they lock in another aggro support. Seems to be the meta right now. Tank aggro supports. Varus Callista. Leona Callista makes a lot of sense. What is it? Callista support, you mean? Buffalo Barrage. Demacia. See what they round out here. The Skarner 2 for Icathia could be a flex still, which means Demacia might feel pressured into banning Camille, in which case they could just slide the Skarner top and then the ban like doesn't matter. So really liking the draft for Icathia so far. little iffy on the Callista, but if Sammy's able to flex it, it's not bad. Silas over to Demacia. Not a bad Silas game. Putting Snowy Bird, I think it's second most played after game. I could be wrong. Yeah, I mean, they may be doing some role shifting. I mean, this is still round robin, so there's not a lot of stakes on this game. Yeah, it decides who's seed 1, but in the Hextech bracket, I don't think there's a huge difference between seed 1 and 2. I think it's pretty much just like you either play seed 4 or 3 in the first round of playoffs. If I'm not mistaken, I believe seeds 1 and 4 play, and seeds 2 and 3 play, and then 5 and 6 await them in the lower bracket. Or consolation bracket, or whatever you want. Oh, it's not a consolation bracket. It's the losers bracket, but they don't. You know, we shy away from those negative terms here in the BoozeBash community. Some weird music playing in this. I just have this playlist on. I don't know why it's. Play the TFT music. Renata Glass for Demacia. Echo Hecarim over to Icathia. Journal probably playing Echo here. Toledo with the Skyner top grants Hecarim, another champion of his, the classic one that's sort of making a comeback. It's been pretty weak for a while. But I know Grant's been playing it quite a bit lately. Or as much as he does play ever, I suppose. Just not a lot, but. Mundo. Not a lot of damage on Demacia's team. Combo Thresh. Predictions up for game 2. Let me know what you guys think. I think Cathia's team lacks a bit of range, but they have a lot of meatballs, a lot of good team fighting. A lot of it kind of depends on how bot lane goes, because Callista is a bit of a feast or famine champ, I think. Jhin, Renata, like this Renata pick is a little weird to me. Like, I don't think there's anybody that Renata really wants to pocket in this game. Like, the attack speed from her W doesn't do much for Jhin, or really anyone. It's a pretty effective giant AoE teamfight champion, which a lot of the times is what BoozeBash like devolves into. Just like who picks the more Ornn, Seraphine, Renata, giant press your button and watch champions. So that, in that sense, it's pretty good. Silas, I think Echo into Silas is kind of questionable because Silas with Echo Ult is so good. Silas has 5 really good ults here, honestly. Leona ult's pretty good, Callista ult's not bad, Skarner ult's not bad, Echo ult is really good, Hecarim ult is really good. So if it's Chrono Combo playing Silas, I think he's got a lot of tools in this game. Needs to bounce back from that game 1. I think he struggled a bit into Journal. I'll be right back. About to get into the spectate delay here for game 2. Demacia looking to bounce back in this series. Icathia struck hard in game 1.
Minions have spawned.
little bit of trading in the early bot lane here, level 1. Journal as well in the mid lane, trying to trade his HP back. Hail of Blades, Echo. Buffalo Barrage getting poked out a bit. Journal's gonna hit 2 first. Big chunk on the combo there. Both mid laners have TP, which sort of makes the kill potential a little less. Buffalo Barrage getting locked up. Combo! Whew! That is very close. Grant is here in the bot lane. Pops his ghost. He's looking for Hockey Boys. Locked up by the Leona and the Callista. First blood over to Grant. Steve getting chased down too. Probably not going to kill him here, but they're looking to blow his summoners. Cleanse and flash to get out. Nice trade back there from Steve, but it's not quite enough. Toledo flashes away from Snowy Birdie as well, so... Icathia striking first here in game 2. Combo hits level 3. Has a mana advantage. Low HP Silas is stronger than he looks as well because it's W heal. Sammy trying to get this wave crashed. Not a whole lot Buffalo Barrage can do to help, and they're getting pretty close to being overstayed. Combo looking for that engage on the Journal. Ooh, and Combo gets the solo kill and flashes out. Grant answers. I don't think, oh! Oh, okay, so it's an execute. Good play from Combo. I think, Journal probably just underestimated that burst right there, and, Combo was probably going to die to that gank regardless, so good on him to get that kill and make sure it's a 1-for-1. Very close fights in this early game. Toledo and Molten are both beefy boys. Skarner is just crazy. I just played Skarner in a solo queue game before this and like, I don't know, it's just so easy, so broken. Snowy Birdie looking for Journal here, probably just trying to get a little bit of form, hits the W. Hockey is here as well, so Journal doesn't want to go into that W he laid down. Toledo just smacking the shit out of Molten behind the wave. Combo is really strong now. Grant's here as well. Snowy and Hockey are both also here. Combo gets turned into a zombie. Journal is minion blocked there, but Grant's already 3-1 technically. Gonna fall there to Snowy Birdie, who jumps into the wall, but Sammy probably gonna flash over here. Oh no, Journal does. So there's a kill on the Hockey Boys. Snowy Birdie on the wrong side of the map. Sammy's gonna flash and claim that kill on the Snowy Birdie despite the blast cone, so. Another big fight here in the bot side of the map. Advantage over to Icathia. Five to 2, 1.5 gold, 1,500 gold lead at 5 minutes. Obviously, the game is far from decided, but you probably want to start slowing things down a little bit if you're Demacia. Too many of these early game skirmishes go one way and the game can get out of control really quick. The Combo does have pretty good control in this mid lane. He gets a solo kill on a Journal. Journal really screwed that up. Good from Combo though. A repeat performance of week 1. That's 2 solo kills in this game already. And he's gonna dive Grant here maybe? Oh, he Hector malts out. Grant almost died there. Combo is kind of smurfing right now. Snowy Birdie is looking for it here. Combo was 6 and Journal hadn't even gotten to level 5 yet at that point, so huge lead for the Silas in this lane. Hasn't used the Callista Black Spear. Grant uses the hello? I'm speechless. So Grant is 3-3, but 2 of his deaths are executes. Oh boy. Combo's so much better without Milton in his ear. Buffalo Barrage, Leona engage onto Hockey Boy. Sammy cleansing to get out of that route, and Steve looking to maybe get a return kill here, but Sammy and Buffalo Barrage are striking back from their Game 1 performance, taking control of this bottom lane. Molten in a bit of trouble here. Journal and Grant are both here. Grant doesn't even get an assist, but he does find Snowy Birdie. Snowy Birdie happy to beat up on him for a little bit of form. Combo getting a free push in the mid lane and a turret plate. So I just can't get over Grant walking in. Like, I know what he was doing. Like, his W gives him a lot of healing with all the little voidlings that spawn, but like, he clearly overestimated how much healing he would get. So he was trying to just use his smite to burst one down and get out, and plus he would get the heal from killing it. But he just didn't quite calculate it right. It was really unfortunate for Grant. And Snowy Birdie has a huge CS lead on him now. Even though Grant has 3 kills, Snowy Birdie's up like 25 CS or whatever, 24. Journal is just getting beat up here by Combo over and over again. Snowy Birdie and Hockey Boys are also here, so full 3-man onto mid lane there. Kill over to Snowy Birdie. Can I check his form? He already has red form at 8 minutes. I don't know if that's the one he wants, but he has Conqueror, so probably. It's a pretty early form. Leona ult onto Steve's gonna claim his summoners, both cleanse and flash, but the Renata's gonna get locked up by Leona E, and Sammy is 3-0-3 on a killing spree as Callista. Great champion to have all your kills on in the early game, trying to snowball. Icathia showing a little bit of the diversity in their roster, being able to carry through multiple different players. As last game, it was not the bot lane carry. This game, they're looking for it to be, as Journal is not quite as strong as he was last game at this point. First Drake early, 9.5 minutes, going over to Icathia. Demacia poking around, seeing if they can contest. This Kane's actually pretty strong. He's got full Eclipse and form already, so... Toledo's gonna pull Molten into his turret. Is it enough? Molten uses the Mundo ult for the healing and probably just walks away because top lane is fucking stupid. Combo is beating the shit out of Journal. I really don't like this echo into Silas. Like, I don't know. Like, if Journal didn't E out of that chain, he probably just dies. Combo, nice flash, but Grant ults back over the wall. And Grant gets that kill. Grant's technically 4-1, even though he's 4-3. He's 2 executes. Just a friendly reminder there. Buffalo Barrage looking for the engage onto Steve. Doesn't find it. Gets rooted by the Jin W. Sammy, though, really strong. Chunks Hockey Boys down to like 30% HP there. Going for the PTA and on-hit Callista as opposed to the lethality build that we were seeing for a while. I think the on-hit's probably better here. Is Mundo Kane going to be a little... and Silas. Going to be a little hard to kill without some big DPS numbers. This is why I hate top lane. Like, they just pick these 2 stupid ass tanks that know 0 skill champions just right click each other for the whole lane phase. And then 1v1 the AD carries in late game. So dumb. Grant smites really early there. And he's getting destroyed by this Kane. Silas is here. Toledo is dead. Journal's here as well, but he's a little too late. And the top side not going well for Icathia, but the bottom side is, as they get 2v2 double killed there, or does Demacia does. Silas, Hecarim ulting onto the Echo, doesn't quite find it. Imagine putting down a class, right-clicking each other in lane as ADC player. Imagine thinking that all ADC players do is right-click. .404 Callista. Turret plates getting shredded. Grant have the damage to kill Molten here? He has ult. He does use it. Yeah, just Mundo's so fucking stupid. He doesn't even have any armor. No armor, like 15% HP. 4-1 Hecarim can't kill him. Finally, he dies. I mean, even if that root hits, I don't even know if Demacia wants to fight that Callista. She's so strong. Icathia has a 4,000 gold lead, just about 3.5. Combo's pretty strong in this 1v1, but unless he starts translating it into other parts of the map, how much does it really matter? Heartsteel completed onto Mundo. Callista's like almost halfway to Rageblade already. 14 minutes. Snowy Birdie taking away the red buff. The bot lane for Icathia is kind of sandwiched here. Bit of a precarious situation. They could get collapsed on. They're looking to go onto combo. Snowy Birdie doesn't go for the collapse. Grant is able to get in there as well, so now I don't know, this is, I mean, something's gonna happen here, you would think. Hockey Boy's getting soloed out. Gets the ult off in time, but it's not quite enough. He's gonna go down out of the zombie form. Sammy has the cane on her. She's gonna get shut down. Curtain call in the back line. Snowy Birdie getting chased down by Buffalo Barrage. Grant, Journal, Echo, ults to safety. Triple kill for Hecarim. Quadra kill? Oh, Steve flashes to safety. And Grant takes 3 turret shots and dies. Buffalo Barrage takes 3 turret shots and dies. What the fuck? That was like a really hard winning play for Icathia, and then they just like single file fed into the turret. Oh, and Steve! Oh man, Steve snipes the Leona with the deadly flourish. Triple kill over the Jhin. Honestly, probably shouldn't have gotten any kills, but good on Steve for killing all these people that single file inted into him. Combo TP's up and kills Toledo. IE complete onto the Jhin. So he's gonna spike. Snowy Birdie looking for something here. As Cathy's gonna start up the dragon. Combo hasn't quite rotated over yet, which to me, yeah, uncontested Drake. So 2 dragons at 16 minutes for Icathia. Gold leads down to only 1,000 though, so you know, anybody's game. That triple kill for Steve is really pulling Demacia back in. Molten gets the turret up there. So cross map play. Journal locked up a bit here, but trading just fine. Looking for a dive onto this bot lane. Snowy Birdie's here to fend it off. The Renata Q stuns the bot lane, and the Renata ult goes through, and it does hit Callista, who cleanses. But Kayn is onto her. Can someone peel the Callista? They're just going to chase down Kayn. And I mean, it's pretty hard to peel a Kayn because he just goes untargetable. So there's a bunch of kills going over to Demacia. Molten TP's in. May or may not have been necessary, but just looking to back his team up. And Steve is pretty big now. Toledo gets the turret in response. And I think for maybe the first time in this series, we're seeing a gold lead from Demacia, despite the fact that it's only about 200. And look at that, Mundo presses one auto attack and does like 500 damage. What a great game. Icathia onto the Rift Herald Molten, about 30% HP. Skarner ult hits the Kane. Kane's gonna go down. Toledo claims that kill, and a second over to Journal onto Molten, and Icathia is here with the numbers. So they're gonna get the kills in the Rift Herald and reclaim the gold lead. This is quite a back and forth one here. Steve and Hockey Boys were a little late to the party, so generally at this point in the early game, the numbers, when the game is close especially, the number advantage will always win you the fight. Colonel combo waiting in the side. Almost kind of glad for Icathia that E from Buffalo Barrage didn't hit, because if he goes in, combo comes in. Combo's going to come in anyways. Flashes forward, goes onto the Callista. Heads up play there from Combo. Steve is dominating. Almost to his LDR. Which I think is going to turn out to be a good decision, because there are some beefy frontliners on the side of Icathia, as Leona is so fucking tanky and has already got a Bramble Vest as well. And the Sunfire completed on the Skarner, so the armor pen's gonna have a lot of value. I imagine Grant gets some armor at some point as well. Pings onto Journal here in the river. Hockey Boys connects the Q and the E, but Echo is kind of hard to kill. Molten, not in a ton of danger here, I don't think, because his champion is fucking broken. Uses Ghost in his ult, and just walks away. Skarner ult did go wide as well, so trade of ults, Summoner spell. Grant looking for the engage here onto the bot lane for Demacia, as Hockey Boys is soloed out. The handshake does connect, but not enough, as Grant goes untargetable, so he's able to push him away. Hockey Boys 0-7 seems to be the one that's getting singled out here a lot. Gotta try and adjust your positioning a little bit. Try not to get caught out as much. Rift Herald charges onto the mid lane, tier 1 turret. The Echo W pushes them off, and they're gonna claim that, which cracks the map open quite a bit in this mid game. So Icathia in the driver's seat a little bit. A lot closer this game than it was in game 1. Definitely still anyone's game. The momentum currently favors them, but as this dragon approaches, let's see if they can translate it into some establishing vision lines and taking a smart fight. Grant looking for Hockey again. The handshake connects this time. Grant ghosted, so this time the disengage is effective. Combo finds Journal recalling in a bush though, and the curtain call and the Hecarim ult from the Silas. Sammy gets locked up by the Renata ult, and that is going to be some clean pickings for Demacia. Getting 3 kills there right in front of the dragon. Toledo does solo kill Molten. But that's a huge fight for Demacia. I mean, stopping this dragon stacking is going to take a lot of steam out of Icathia. And thanks for the sub. It was really loud. Or it's a follow. Alright. That scared me. God, what's going on? Okay. Sorry, I don't know. Oh, I have it on full screen. That's why. TP into mid lane there from Colonel Combo. Gold lead about 1,000 for Demacia. They get an Ocean Drake to stop the soul stacking from Icathia. Both 80 carries creeping towards their third items where they start to spike really hard. Combo still hasn't used the fucking Callista Spear in his inventory. 22 minutes into the game. I wonder if he's even aware that that's something he should do. Icathia gathering on the top side of the map here. Echo is bot lane without TP. Silas also bot lane without TP. So we've got an honest 4v4. Hockey Boys flashes away there. Gets chunked really hard. Toledo W slow. Skarner ult pulls him in. That's going to be another pick onto Hockey Boys. Demacia claiming a kill for themselves, enabling them to step into this jungle here. Grant gets chunked out though, so they're going to maybe turn towards Baron. If they can coordinate it, it's not really like... You don't have to worry about risking a 50-50 with the Callista E. The spear that Silas has, by the way, allows him to select which person he pulls in if he steals Callista ult. Snowy Birdie trying to get into the pit to steal the Baron, doesn't quite do it. The Jhin ult is firing onto the Leona, and one kill goes over to Demacia. Mundo gonna die in the middle of everyone. Combo solo kills Journal again in the side lane. And Icathia probably just trying to get out here. Snowy Birdie looking to clean them up. Now he's in the middle of all three of them. Hits the really big W though. The deadly flourish from the Jhin follows up, but Sammy gonna get that kill. Toledo barely living. Didn't quite see the solo kill in the side lane. But Combo does get a solo inner turret for it, so Combo doing his best to try and keep his team afloat in this. The gold is pretty much still about dead even, but Icathia gets the Baron. 3 items onto Callista, Bork, Rageblade, Terminus. Callista is probably about as strong as she's ever going to get right now. And I think with the Baron and the 3 item Callista, you gotta, if you're Icathia, this is your moment. Grouping here in the bot lane. Well, it's just the bot lane actually of Icathia, looking for a push onto that tier 2. The rest of the team sort of wandering around. Demacia slowly moving down to stop this push, as there's not really a lot invested in it from Icathia. This Baron is kind of just disappearing. Journal though may have found Hockey Boys again. He's got the W on him. Guardian keeps him alive a little bit longer, and Journal does not get the ult to escape, so he's going to get picked off actually. Sammy though, on a killing spree, finds a kill onto Kane and Silas. Grant ults to stop Steve's channel. Gets solo Renata ulted, so there's no one for him to auto attack, but Steve kites it out. Legendary is the Jhin. Callista rampaging through this team fight though. Uses the ultimate. Steve gets knocked up. The 4th shot's not quite enough. Cleanse, but he's still going to die, and that's an ace for Icathia. Sammy is a monster on this Callista right now. Barreling down mid lane, looking to claim this tier 2 turret and punch their way into a series win. Demacia not out of it quite yet, but it's getting a little dicey. Looking for this re-engage here, but the Skarner stun into the ult, and Sammy gets another kill. Snowy Birdie trying to punish the overstay, but gets locked down and deleted. Now they're going to go onto the dragon, and so they just got to pick onto the jungler, so should be 3rd Drake over to Icathia. Unfortunately for Demacia, they were able to fight off 3rd one, so it's not Soul yet. But Next time it will be, so Demacia is going to need to be ready for that fight. Grant's KDA, not as bad as it looks. He has 2 executes. He should be 7 and 5. Kind of threw himself into the fight last time to stop the Jhin ult and wound up dying, but it bought Kalista the space she needed to jump around and kill everyone as the Jhin ult was zoning her really hard. Completed Wit's End and a BF sword, so nearly full build for the Kalista. And you have to imagine she's a high priority target for Icathia moving forward. Pretty hard for them to get onto her. She has Cleanse Flash. You would imagine they're going to try and target her with the Renata ult, but with all the move speed and the cleanse, it's pretty hard for her to actually get locked up by it. As Molten uses his ult to get away. Renata ult's expended as well. Demacia looking to see if they can find something here, but I don't think... Oh, Echo TPing in. Icathia fancying a re-engage. Grant is in the middle of everyone, but he's not that tanky. He uses the ult to get back in. Sammy flashes away from the Kayn, but the ult gets him back onto her, and Sammy's going to go down, and Silas claims that kill. Grant in the middle of everyone as well. Toledo, the last to fall here, and it looks like Demacia might find themselves an ace. Jurtle claims a kill on the Hockey Boys in the back end of it, but gets flashed on, and that is an ace for Demacia. So they're striking back here, running down mid. Do they have the time to end the game, you think? This might be close. The wave is there. Sammy's up in 12 seconds. It's crazy, man. You play all these team fights, you jump around, you're so fed as Kalista, and the Kayn gets on you once, and you just... Okay, so they don't lose the game off it, but... Really close. Despite that fact, Demacia still has a gold deficit. Delayed recall timers will give Icathia the first look onto the Baron here. This combo is pushed even further back. Does not have TP for a little bit as well. And Icathia is going to jump right onto the Baron. Steve opening up the curtains for the ult to try and scout it out. Trying to have Leona tank it. And between Kalista and the jungler, you don't have to worry as much about a 50-50, but they're going to turn for the fight instead. Kalista jumping onto the Mundo. Grant ulting into the backline, stopping the channeling. Skarner all connects only onto one, but the Kalista is engaged on by the Kayn. The Silas ults in as Hecarim, and that is going to be a clean fight for Demacia. Oh, he doesn't quite get revived, but 1 for 5 ace, and I think Demacia is going to run down mid and end the game here. Yeah, it just kind of feels like the Kalista got really fed and played well, but GG, don't try to play other people's champs you can't play. A little flame from combo. Yeah, I mean, the Hecarim struggled. He had big ults, but he was so squishy. And it's just so easy to kill Kalista, even though she's super fed. Like, Kayn is just so broken. He goes red Kayn and builds like Bruiser, and he just presses R on the Kalista and just kills her. So we're gonna go to a game 3 here. I guess I'll do a coin flip. Okay. So, got a draft link. They already did the coin flip. Looks like the sides are going to stay the same. And we are into game 3 draft, so yeah, you have to imagine that Icathia probably reverts back to a more reliable 80 carry. I mean, not that Callisto isn't reliable, but it's just harder to execute as Callista. It's just so easy for a Kane or whatever jungler to just press one button on you and kill you. She didn't really have a ton of peel in those fights either. You can't really peel the Kane, as I said earlier. Running back pretty much the same bands as the game 2 drafts. See what Icathia does here for their first pick. Do they go for the Skarner again? Yeah. I'd be interested to see if they flex the Skarner into jungle and maybe try to get Toledo on Camille. Definitely a pocket option in their pocket, at the very least. Running back the Kane. Snowy Birdie had a pretty good performance on that. See what they follow up with here. Jinx for Steve, so squaring up a little bit of a hole that I thought their last comp had, even though they won, which is reliable late game DPS. Didn't matter in that game. They were able to overcome that and close out the game fairly early. But now they have a little bit more insurance. The Jhin ult was pretty effective in team fights as well. There's a missed pick from Icathia. It's Talia. Gonna put that in the Twitch chat in case anybody missed it. Talia, Rel for Icathia, Brand, the last pick of the first round for Demacia, and we're into the next set of bans. So the Skarner still a flex option for Icathia, as it's likely a Talia mid for Journal. Camille ban from Demacia, recognizing the flex option. I imagine that the Camille ban probably fully eliminates the flex of that Skarner. Although Toledo could just pick another tank and the Skarner could go jungle. Grant can play Skarner jungle. Anyone with a pulse can play Skarner anywhere. This shit is so easy. What's that? Thanks for the follow. Scientific Mango. Mordekaiser, Lulu Milio. So banning out more tops and supports. Janna locked in for Demacia. I imagine they're going to stick with the roles that they had before, with Hockey playing support and Snowy playing jungle. Seemed to work pretty well for them last game. Never seen the Hockey Boys Janna. Might just be like since he was pushed down in his support pool a bit. I'm not entirely sure what his support pool is, but Janna for the Jinx, not too bad. Varus locked in. Sammy has done really well on it. See what they finish up their comp with here. It's going to be either a jungle or a top lane pick to determine where the Skarner is going. Hockey plays literally every champ. But that doesn't mean anything to me. When somebody says they play every champ, I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, what champs do you actually play? Nobody plays every champ, you know? Like, I could play every champ. Should I play every champ? I mean, he just played Renata and he went like, I don't know. Doesn't really. Oh, Fiddlesticks. Okay, so it's a Skarner top. See what Demacia picks here for their top laner. Urgot. Okay, so Urgot, Kane, Brand mid, I guess, for combo. Talia into Brand. Not sure how that matchup goes. Probably skill matchup. Although not a lot of skill required for Brand either, so Talia's tough. Tough champ to play. He will rip anything I'm convinced of it. Yeah, I'm sure he will. Getting into the draft in client here. I'll put up the game 3 prediction. What do you guys think of these drafts? Show it. Put your money where your mouth is. $25K channel points? Nice. Pretty big cash out. Yeah, I think after the first game, a lot of people expected Icathia to just roll the series, but Demacia made some adjustments and struck back hard and pushed this to a game 3, so I think these teams scale fairly evenly now. Last game, I definitely think, what was the draft last game? Yeah. Demacia had a neither team scaled super well in the late game last draft, but they both have some late game options. Jinx, Brand, high DPS, Varus, Talia. Fiddlesticks also just has a chance to just take over a game. Like, if you just hit one good Fiddlesticks ult, it does require a lot of vision control though, so Icathia, for their sakes, hopefully they can coordinate, move around the map together, clear vision, get Fiddlesticks windows to engage in. Demacia looking to obviously counter their vision, try and make sure that they know where Fiddlesticks is at all times, to at least be cognizant of places he could be if you don't know where he is. Because there are a lot of squishies that Fiddlesticks can insta-kill, or at least if they're feared, can be insta-killed by Fiddlesticks' team. I also think the items just are good for Fiddle right now. Just waiting for the bans and the spectate delay to begin. Urgot enjoyer. Looks like the channel point prediction is pretty even this time. We are just getting into the spectator delay now, by the way. It's about 2.5 minutes to go. Regardless, if you ask me, regardless of the way this series goes, I think that this is probably the finals preview, right? I mean, Icathia, Demacia, the Titans of the round robin, duking it out. I think both of their series so far have gone to 3 games. Haven't had them play each other with all 5 of their normal players. Buffalo Barrage is subbing in here for Grey Goose Cave. Interesting to see them get some tech on each other, get a little info, you know. As you have to imagine, we're probably going to see them play each other at least once, if not 2 more times in the playoffs.
To Summoner's Rift.
A little bit of trash talking going on here.
30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
A little bit of bickering about the Stanley Cup Finals going on. A lot of Florida Panthers fans between Steve, that is, Grant, Florida boys. I'm from Florida myself. Don't really care about the Panthers, but I'd rather see the Panthers win over the Oilers if I had to choose. I would sacrifice the entire organization to start Thunder every game. If you say go Oilers, you're a communist, because America. Toledo is getting his ass beat by this Urgot. E goes wide. Say Oilers. So Oilers girl, our Lord and Savior. Oh, the girl that like flashed her tits at the game. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I don't really care who wins Stanley Cup. Hockey's a boring sport. Molten flashes in and whiffs his E, so a lot of pressure alleviated off of Toledo from that. I'm gonna move this chat, it's kind of too big now. I'll let you know if any more trash talk happens though. Lot slower of a start for sure in this game than the last one. I believe there was like 8 kills at 5 minutes or something like that last game. Laning against Brand is so annoying now that they changed his E so that he has that like big spread. So annoying. Doesn't have to hit anything, he just presses E on a creep and you get fucking roasted. Grant looking to make the first move. Snowy Birdie down here as well. Fear onto Hockey Boys. Snowy Birdie finds Grant. Grant is level 4 because he full cleared on Fiddlesticks, but he's in the middle of 3 people waiting for his bot lane to come help him. Gonna have to flash his safety. Grant or combo flashes forward to try and get the stun on a journal, doesn't connect. Bot lane, the wave is pushing away from Icathia. Steve's gonna push it back in though, so yeah. Still pushing away. Level 4s. Molten lands that flip, gets a nice chunk onto Toledo. With the fear into the Talia W onto Combo. Can Combo get a kill in the 1v2 this time? It doesn't look like it, and Grant will claim the first blood in the mid lane. Buffalo Barrage finds the stun onto Hockey, who then has to flash out of the W. Sammy getting beat up a little bit on the end of that trade, but all in all, nice summoner spell advantage gained from the Icathia bot lane. Yeah, Steve is probably going to look to push this wave and hit a recall. Sammy using the ghost to get back to lane. Based. Grant pinging onto the Void Grubs as Fiddlesticks will shred those pretty quick. Drain multi-target ability. Level 6 for Journal and mid. Roam capabilities. Grant fishing for a gank here. Hockey Boys hovering as well. Numbers advantage for Demacia as it stands currently, unbeknownst to Icathia. Nice little chunk onto combo there from Journal. Grant is getting engaged on by Snowy Birdie. He sidesteps the W. Starts draining. Kane gets locked up by the Talia stun. Grant's pretty low. Hockey Boys gets the kill though. Journal's gonna have to flash away. Toledo also flashing away. And roaming support up proves to be very beneficial for Demacia, as they claim a kill and potentially the grubs as well. Grant looking to go bot side, so gonna seed those after that fight didn't quite go the way they wanted it to. bot lane for Icathia, doing their best to try and push Jinx off of the CS while she doesn't have her support to back her up. Fiddlesticks heading down there as well as Hockey Boys, so Grant might be trying to hit level 6 and see if he can get a gank off. Not sure if the Krugs get him there, but I don't think so. Janna's back, so Jinx can hit the wave. Grant gets away from that ward. That was really close timing there. He's in there undetected. But I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off. He's probably just sweeping the ward. He's still down there. Corrected camera's not bringing us down there, but oh, maybe he's on Dragon. No, that's an effigy. The minimap is so confusing with the effigies sometimes. There's 3 Fiddlesticks down there. The one that's moving is the Fiddlestick side, of course. But Sammy's level 6 here. Combo finds Grant trying to do the Scuttle Crab, and Grant flashes the stun wisely. Starts draining. Talia's going to ult in, but they are at a big disadvantage here and really slow rotate up from the Icathia bot lane. Looking for a kill onto Combo in return, and Sammy does claim that. Then the ult connects onto Jinx into the exhaust. Jinx going to flash away. Hockey rooted up. Talia shoves him back in. Rel ult peels the cane, but Steve is now excited. Directed camera takes us away from the second kill because Toledo is dying at the same time. So a triple kill over to Steve. Demacia in a strong position here in the early game, which is not what we have seen in the past few games. They've generally fallen a little bit behind in the early game, but this time they are striking first. Seems like the momentum of this series has shifted quite a bit. Sammy did get a kill in that fight, so not, you know, complete disaster, but the second worst thing to a complete disaster for Icathia. Fiddlesticks is pretty far behind now, XP and CS. I mean, Kane's level 7, he like hit 6 not that long ago, so. Icathia is stepping up to this dragon, though. They have Fiddlesticks R. Kane. It's going to be a 50-50 smite fight? What's going on here? The Talia shove misses. Rel looks for the engage. Fiddlesticks ults in. Snowy Birdie gets the smite onto the dragon. Uses the ultimate to keep himself alive. But Kane dies in the untargetable. Combo going to fall as well. Double kill over to Grant. Sammy connects the Verisol onto Hockey Boys, but Steve gets a return kill as well. So 2 for 1, but the dragon goes over to Demacia, and I don't think you're too upset about that if you're Demacia. But 1 dragon, not the end of the world for either team. Kill onto Jinx is really nice. A couple of kills over to Icathia. They can try to help call themselves back in. I think both sides are relatively okay with that. Snowy Birdie looking for Journal here. It's pretty safe. Probably just trying to get some form. His form, he had form at like 8 minutes last game. It's a lot slower this time. Since the game is, in general, is a lot slower than last game. Steve went BF Sword into Zeal. Jumping on Toledo here, but he just presses E and walks away. Hockey Boys roamed up for the second set of grubs. Snowy Birdie in the pit alone with Grant. Fails his Q and flashes out. Really doesn't feel like they should have had to do that. Hockey Boys flashes the shove from Talia as well, so despite the fact that they had the numbers advantage to begin with, now that Rel's there, they no longer do, but in the very beginning, they had the numbers, and Kathy is going to walk away with 2 grubs, so this time they answer the support rooms, unlike last time where they didn't and it went pretty bad. Jinx though, solo pushing a bot lane. A couple turret plates for herself. Still down about 20 CS, but mostly due to the fact that she had to 1v2 the last grubs. 3-man onto Molten here. He's flashing early, but I don't know if he has enough to get out as the shove from Talia into the drain and Fear, and Toledo claims that kill. Turret plates on the mid in the meanwhile. Grant looking to cover mid, TPing bot though. It's TP from Combo behind Sammy and Buffalo Barrage. But Combo just gets ulted by the Varus, and he just dies. Sammy, though, getting run down by the Jinx, the Exhaust, and the Janna W. Steve is now 5-0. A lot of resources expended into the bot lane from Demacia on this play. But they are likely going to get 2 kills and maybe a turret out of it. Buffalo Barrage is probably not long for this world. And he's going to fall. Steve dominating 6-0. 500 gold bounty now. Good morning. 6 p.m. Good morning. Reset Varus gold so Jinx gets plus 300. Yeah, good. Fiddlesticks ulting onto Combo under the turret, but he must have seen him. He didn't get feared right away, but the fear into the Talia shove. Nice dive there. Grant's gonna have to flash out, but using these Fiddlesticks ults to try and get some advantages for the Talia, who is a big carry in this game for Icathia. First turret goes over to Demacia though. Steve claiming some solo gold there. The Jinx is going to be a monster in this game. See what he gets on this recall. Finishes his IE, yeah. So Jinx is very strong. They should be playing around this Jinx. I like seeing him recall and go into mid lane. Have him close to anything that might break out. He's got most of their gold right now, so he's going to want to be there for these fights. 7,100 gold, so he's got about an 1,800 gold advantage over Sammy here, despite the fact that he's down 20 CS. Pings onto this dragon. Ocean Drake has spawned. Icathia is there first-ish, but it's just Buffalo Barrage, so the vision can be contested. Grant's looking for a Fiddlesticks ult somewhere. You have to imagine that. Demacia is aware of this to some degree. Oh, he's starting it. The Talia's ulting in as well. Hockey boys. He's going to get caught out. Sammy claims that kill with the Talia ult walling him off. 4v3 down here as Rel ults the Kayn in. The Jinx ult on top of the Kayn though is going to kill. Oh my god, this Kayn is so strong. Jinx is excited, claims another kill. Godlike. The Kayn just goes untargetable and buys so much time. Demacia winning that fight and claiming another Drake for themselves. Steve shoved away there by Journal. So he's going to get himself to safety, but starting to get a little dicey for Icathia here. I mean, Demacia is up about 2,500 gold. Steve is 7-0. The gold is right where Demacia wants it, that's for sure. The Fiddlesticks ult I think was just a little bit too early there for Icathia. Yeah, they did kill Hockey Boys, but I don't know, if you're inting for one person, it needs to be Jinx. He has a Hurricane now, so he's super strong. I.e. Hurricane. Yeah, he does die pretty quick if they can hit him. The Varus ult, Talia W, and Fiddlesticks. Like, there's a lot of shit that can kill Jinx, but they gotta do it. And Toledo probably dies here to Urgot. TP in from Journal is pretty late. Shoves the Urgot back onto the rocks, but Kane is here as well. Sammy's here to claim that kill on a Molten. Snowy Birdie running Journal down. Gonna ult here under the turret. And then flashes out. Crazy that he gets away there. His champion is so broken. Fear onto the Brand, but the Janna peel keeps him safe from the Fiddle. Jinx ult snipes Talia. He gets excited, probably gets a kill on a Grant here as well. And Steve is just taking over. This Jinx is insanely strong, and he's only getting stronger. And Icathia is just not... They just don't have an answer for it. They keep using their spells and shit in teamfights before the Jinx is even there. And then Jinx just shows up and cleans it up. He's virtually uncontested in all of these fights. They need to be a lot more aware of their target selection and how they're using their cooldowns, because it's clear as day that the Jinx is the #1 target in this game. Rift Herald goes over to Demacia. Built up almost a 5,000 gold lead. Here at 18 minutes. 1 kill onto Steve does cut that down by 1,000 though, as he's at a 700 gold bounty. And they have the tools, like I said, they can do it. They just have to save their buttons for him. It's hard to do when you have a Janna there, but if the Fiddlesticks gets in with the AoE Fear and the Talia W. Molten flashing onto Talia. Talia shoves him away. Grant ulting, Rel running down to save Journal here from the Urgot, and Grant claims that kill. So nice collapse from Icathia, saving their mid laner, claiming a kill, and digging their way out of this hole that they've dug themselves into. Demacia taking this time to get the inside track on the mid lane push. Sammy's going to try and hold the turret the best she can, but the Rift Herald and 4 members makes it look a little unlikely that this one's going to live as Jinx gets excited off the turret. Oh, the shove hits the Brand. Varus ult as well. Brand's going to go down. That's 1 kill. Janna claimed as well. Skarner falls to the Kane in the meanwhile, but Icathia finding some fighting chances here, and Steve is the only one alive. Fortunately for Demacia, they don't give up that shutdown. Janna picks sexy as fuck. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good so far. They're really looking for this shutdown. Journal has flash. He hits the W onto the Jinx. Shutdown goes to Varus. That is huge. This game just swung so hard back to Icathia. They're going to get this mid turret, the 1k onto Varus, the dragon is spawning. That was such a great play from Journal. Absolutely needed that shutdown. Demacia should be able to group up in time. Oh, Sammy gets caught recalling, so a little bit of an overstay here. Journal's dead as well, so that's probably going to be a dragon going over to Demacia. Yeah, big overstay there from Icathia. So they made a really big heads-up play and pulled themselves back in the game and kind of just threw it back. But I mean, you're still pretty happy to get that 1k shutdown. Varus is up to 3 items now that matches the Jinx. So they're looking to contest this red buff. Buffalo Barrage is here to help Grant, but if he gets stunned here by the Brand, he probably dies. A lot of healing. The Varus ult comes in, some good damage, but I mean, that jungle's not really your territory after you get picked off like that. Pretty close game still. Demacia in control right now, headed towards Baron. Toledo is up there behind them. They've started the Baron. Varus is bottom. This is just gone. This is just a Baron for Demacia. The blue trinket is way too late. It's gone. Nice Baron sneak there. Toledo is TPing out. And at this point, I think you kind of have to, as Icathia, you got to find these Fiddlesticks ults. It's like, it's your key to win team fights, because Jinx is just gonna delete everyone. Maybe a potential pick here onto Molten. He dashes through the Talia rocks, and the Talia wall locks him up, so another pick onto Molten.
Red team's turret has been
Icathia trying to slow down the Baron push here. Hopefully, for their sake, it takes a little bit of wind out of the sails of Demacia's Baron. Grant takes a cannon minion from his mid laner, griefing. Demacia barreling down mid though. Likely to claim this inhibitor turret. The Jinx is firing on it and she shreds turrets and gets excited and runs away. Grant's here, but can't really walk up there. Pings onto Snowy Birdie. Grant. His ult isn't quite back up yet. Buffalo Barrage nearly caught out there by the brand. Sidesteps the stun. Pings onto the mid lane from Icathia. Looking to see if they can get a pick here. Hockey Boy's playing with fire with that positioning, but doesn't quite get caught out by the Talia shove. And I think Icathia has recognized that. Oh! The stun on a combo into the Talia shove, but Journal is getting beat up by the Jinx. He's gonna die. Jinx is excited. Fiddlesticks ulting in, gonna kill the Janna, but Jinx is untouched in the backline. Double kill for Steve. Molten gonna kill Buffalo Barrage. Toledo's gonna fall as well on the back end of this, and could this be game? This might be game. It's gonna be close. Maybe not game, but at least an inhibitor. Journal's up in 12 seconds. Oh man. Oh, Sammy dies there. Okay, Jinx is excited. They're zoning Varus away from the wave. They're going over towards the first Nexus turret. Talia is up. Nexus turret number 1 is fallen. Nexus turret number 2 is under fire. Journal getting zoned off. Jinx looking to run forward, but may have stepped a little bit too far up. Shutdown goes over to Sammy, but both Nexus turrets fall.
blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And Molten is going to fall as well, but I mean, you still, I have to imagine, are not too upset about this as Demacia. You give a couple of shutdowns over, sure, but taking both Nexus turrets really just makes the game unplayable. Pings onto the Drake. This is soul point already for Demacia, so despite the fact that Icathia just lost both of their Nexus turrets, they are pretty much forced to fight this dragon. I don't know how Sammy's tier isn't fully stacked, too. She still has Mirror Mana. It's not Mana Moon yet. Probably not going to have it stacked by the time this fight breaks out. Kind of crazy. It's 25 minutes. Nice poke damage onto Colonel Combo, as they're doing anything they can to try and get themselves a foothold in this fight. As the winner of this fight could very likely be the winner of the game. Unfortunately for Icathia, I don't think a win in this fight guarantees them a win in the game, because they don't get soul for it and death timers aren't quite long enough. Plus they have to fight into super minions in their mid lane. Snowy Birdie locked up here by the Rel. The shove. Grant gets a kill on the Snowy Birdie right away. The Janna ult isn't quite enough, and they're going to get another kill here onto Steve. The Fiddlesticks ult is huge, and Icathia may have found the fight that they needed to pull themselves back into this game. Finally, they get their buttons onto the Jinx, and they fight off the soul point, so this game isn't quite over yet, as the gold is back to fully even, and Icathia will claim an objective bounty here. Urgot, if we look in the top lane though, in the top jungle, he is in the jungle. They've spotted him with the effigy, so the backdoor is not likely going to happen. Maybe just looking to get a ward in. I mean, Combo is the only one with TP, and Brand isn't exactly the best character to melt the Nexus. So the backdoor isn't super threatening. 27 minutes in. The gold is pretty much back to even. 4 items on both 80 carries. The next objective on the map is going to be this Baron spawning in about 26 seconds. Open Nexus is kind of rough for Icathia. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to play against Open Nexus. Fortunately for Icathia, there's no TP on Molten. He took Ignite, which did generate him quite a nice lead in the lane phase, but the cost of that is the backdoor threat almost entirely eliminated. Which I'm glad, because I'm tired of seeing backdoors. Vision Plant spots out Buffalo Barrage here. And Vision is going to be the name of the game here, as they have a Fiddlesticks looking to hit a huge ultimate to win them the game. Molten in the side lane, doesn't have TP, so Icathia should be able to step up and get this Vision in the Baron area. They have to always be cognizant, though, of the fact that with no Nexus turrets, it's really easy for Demacia to just barrel down mid and end the game, and they can always threaten that, as they are right now. They don't have Vision, they're leaning towards their side laner. Buffalo Barrage, maybe looking for an engage. Talia ult, Ghost onto the Varus. Combo gonna flash out of the Talia shove. Fiddlesticks ult onto Brand, but Jinx, free firing, does get exhausted. Jinx taking over this team fight. But he dies! Sammy gets the kill there. Kane's still alive. And this is a slugfest. Varus falls, Jinx falls, but 2v2 here. Are they going to push into the base? Are they looking for the bot turret? Sorry for the PTSD. The trundle. Yeah, the backdoor. I don't like that. Backdoors are cringe. Doesn't look like Demacia is going to be able to get too much off of that. 3 for 3 in the end of it. Molten getting a run down a little bit here. Does Skarner have the ability to chase them down? I think they're going to get out. The mid inhib does respawn for Icathia, so that probably helps them breathe a sigh of relief as far as barreling down mid and killing the open Nexus goes. So QSS on the Jinx now. Thanks for the prime sub, DJ. And it kind of feels like this game is just on a knife's edge, one team fight away from just ending abruptly. Baron is in play here. Combo. I see Grant up there. Is he gonna go for the ult? Thanks to Boy J Money for the prime sub as well. Combo phase checks Grant. Grant misses the E and has to flash away. I feel like if you were gonna go for that pick, you might as well just ult, right? I mean, it's pretty low cooldown. Talia is behind the, or Urgot is behind the Talia. He's gonna ult out. So there's a pretty decently long cooldown. Molten needs a Jack show, maybe. I don't really know anything about tank items. Now that they're annoying and broken. Bush cheese here for Icathia. Definitely something that Fiddlesticks is interested in. The real Fiddlesticks is outside of the bush there, pretending to be an effigy. Hockey Boys is dancing with fire right there. Playing with fire. Dragon is spawning in 30 seconds. Would be a soul. Hextech soul, that is, for Demacia. Should they claim it? Icathia looking to not allow that, of course. Hextech soul usually is an instant loss for whichever team has to fight against it. Toledo clearing minions. Combo and Molten looking for a flank. The W doesn't connect, but the stun. Oh, Combo gets shoved into the rocks. He's going to die right away. Buffalo Barrage is zoning the Jinx off. Kane is diving in the back line. But Buffalo goes down. Molten gets a kill onto Grant. Didn't see what happened there, but it looks like the Fiddlesticks ult is still up. Sammy and Journal and Toledo all 1v3ing this Urgot. The Skarner ult pulls him back in. Sammy's going to get that shutdown. Steve is really low. He uses the traps to zone himself out, but I mean, the dragon is started for Demacia. It's getting pretty low. I don't know if Icathia is going to be able to get there in time to stop it. Sammy's popping the ghost. Dragon's down to 5k HP. Snowy Birdie's in the pit. Grant is dead, so there's no smite to take it away. They're going to have to kill the jungler if they want a chance at getting this soul. And Journal's going to claim that kill. Toledo is zoning off the Jinx, but the rocket gets the kill onto Varus. The dragon. Hextech soul goes over to Demacia. Journal's going to fall. Sammy already did, and Steve likely is going to find a kill here onto Toledo. Buffalo Barrage doing his best to zone them away. Grant, though, he's going to ult back in and get the kill onto the bot lane. Both members are going to fall, so a little bit of an over push there into the jungle, but Hextech soul has been claimed, so Demacia really powerful in this game. This is a banger. Gold is pretty much dead even, but that does not reflect the advantage that Demacia has in the scaling of the full build Jinx and the Hextech soul. This is going to be a really hard one for Icathia to come back in, I think. They really just need to find the perfect team fight. They're kind of out of options as far as macro play goes. They're going to have to weasel their way in there and find an angle for this Fiddlesticks, because I don't even think he got his ult off in the last fight until he respawned. But by the time that happened, Hextech soul was already dead. The battle for first place continues. Demacia looking to go undefeated in the round robin. Icathia hoping to not get swept 2-0 in series scores. Baron is up. Demacia is primarily on the bottom side of the map, which there isn't much to be had down there right now. Combo is like way deep in the bot side. Like, I have no idea what he's doing down there. Maybe he's looking to see if someone's going to answer Molten. That's probably what he's doing. But they have wards. They can see all 5 people on Baron, so. Icathia has the position on this Baron. I mean, they're starting it up. Demacia, though, they're going mid. This Baron is really slow. I don't think they can do this. They have to leave. They're going to lose the game. The game's over. They lost. Yeah, they lose on the Baron, right? I mean, I don't... Oh! Okay, they're not ending the game. Rel ulted. Talia ulted as well. I don't know why Demacia didn't just walk into the base and end the game right there. Icathia got bailed out really hard. That's kind of crazy. I mean, they had an excited Jinx, like, just run into the Nexus, I would think, but combo not quite caught out. Grant's actually caught out. Call an ambulance, but not for me. He's gonna die. Snowy Birdie claims that kill. And without the jungler of Icathia, Demacia is looking to run over to the Baron. Combo looked like he was caught out there, but Grant falls for the trap. It's the second time that's happened, too. Sammy using this opportunity to push up mid, but I don't know how much further you want to go. I mean, they get a turret, so there's something, but Molten, if you can see on the minimap, is in the base of Icathia, and Journal's TPing to try and stop this Molten from ending the game, but that's going to leave Sammy out to dry, and Snowy Birdie's going to get that kill. The Skarner ult hits 2 or 3, but there's not much to be done there, and Journal is going to fall to the Urgot. The Fiddlesticks ult does not hit, and this is going to be game. Demacia's going to win this series. Jinx ult snipes Buffalo Barrage just for extra style points. Double kill for Molten, and Demacia will finish the round robin undefeated. 3-game series Demacia will be the first seed in the playoffs, and Icathia will be seed number 2. So the curse of Purple Gang has been broken, right? We had 2. We went 1-2 this week. Anyways, if Grant wants to, or somebody wants to make an MVP vote, mod, put it in the Twitch chat. Feel free to do that. Pretty exciting series. Preview of what is to come. Icathia once again fighting Demacia without their original roster, so I imagine we'll hear some stuff about that. Buffalo Barrage did a great job standing in for Grey Goose Gabe. Both teams had a lot of strong points, a lot of moments of opportunity where they could have, won the game, but Demacia found a few extra picks here and there, and Steve's Jinx just was pretty unstoppable in that last game. Put on a clinic for sure. Well, that's it here for me, I think. What do we have next? Is there any other games scheduled yet? No. So I guess, was that the last game of the round robin? I think so. So we should be moving into playoffs now. Does that finalize the standings for Hextech, I think? Demacia is 1, Kathy is 2, Freyord 3, Noxus 4, Bandle City 5, Bilgewater. Oh, is there another game? I don't even know. Fun series for sure. I'm gonna end the stream. GG's, everyone. Some point, keep an eye on the announcements channel for an MVP vote if a mod decides to do it. At some point, you'll probably find it there. There it is in the Twitch chat. Alright, stay tuned. Watch the announcements channel for the next match, whenever that may be. Until then, see you, dude.